Man, our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Hey, this is everybody. It's Lloyd Spence, and listen, you can find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the Major League Baseball is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? Man, I got the Braves, man. I feel like they're going back to back. Because BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas, casino, and poker games. It's super easy to get started. So head on to the website today and use your mobile device to join and use your promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Go on over to BetOnline. It's where the game starts. And tell them the Noisemaker said so.
Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah. Popcorn World. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in the back of a can. I can make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. 250 flavors. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world.
Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. Noise, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother Noise, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle Noise, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ.
Come on. not getting closer. We ready to go. Making the way we get down. Talking NOIZ. Good times. Still trying to get you. Good times. Good times. Good times. Yeah. We looking, we got 'em. Yeah. Probably might not bring you. Good times.
We're back at it again. The crew in the building.
What's up, fam?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling a lot better, man. I mean, a lot better. Mama NOIZ worked that thing out. Wait a minute, I heard it. I just heard it. Mama NOIZ really worked on my sinus situation and helped me feel better.
I don't think we can go fully raw until like after 8. Yeah.
I didn't mean to go fully raw. I heard it after I said it, but Mama NOIZ really docked it on me pretty well. She got me feeling a lot better than I was. I'm still there's a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad as it was before. So I'm feeling pretty good. What's going on, Ryan? What's going on, Al?
So you 50% raw, basically.
No, I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place. I feel better. I feel better. So much better. See, I see where that went wrong. It's not starting off real right now. But trust me, I just feel better. That's all you need to know. Okay? Jeez, I'm blowing it over here. You're blowing it, man. How y'all feeling, man? How y'all doing tonight? Everybody's muted.
Doing good, man. Long day as always.
Yeah, it was a pretty long day. But we got through it. We survived it. The stresses of it all and the frustrations of it all, we survived it. So I got no real complaints. Shout out to the noisemakers. We're gonna get the call to worship going here in just a second. So the organ went out. It went out. It just stopped working. The Leslie, for those of you who know about black organs, there's a Leslie that goes with the organ. There's a thing that twirls around that gives the organ its full sound, and it went out. So we had to go out and get a keyboard today for White Noise that I think will work about the same. You're not gonna really be able to notice the difference, but it's but we had to turn in the bill to the trustees. Now the trustees are trying to blame White Noise for it. I mean, White Organist for it, saying he played too loud. And I'm like, that's not true. That just because he played loud don't mean that would knock out the Leslie. It's just an old Leslie. But they want to have a meeting. But I got his back on this one because this ain't his fault. This ain't his fault. Mama NOIZ, what you up to?
I'm well.
You good?
Look like he made you sick, Mama NOIZ.
You're not sick, are you?
No.
Okay.
I'm grateful. I have tried to give Mr. NOIZ his space while he is recovering.
Yeah, that's true.
So I let him have a whole bed and let him get his rest.
It was weird. She just got up one night and was like, "You need space," and I was like, "I do."
Well, I mean, you was like coughing and stuff, so
you just didn't want to catch what I had. Is that what you trying to tell me?
What? That's not what I said. I'm just simply saying.
I ain't what you said, but I mean, now I'm starting.
I mean, it's not like you was doing like the kids do in the schools where you weren't coughing in your shirt or in your arm and like that. You was like,
No, I let that thing fly. I let it fly.
Yeah, see, that's
Well, both of y'all can't be sick. Somebody can't sleep in the bed.
I was shocked that she got up, if I'm being honest with you. I was like, why are you getting up? I asked, I said, why? And she said, oh, it's just hot in here. I'm going to go down here by the fan. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, see, he couldn't have the fan blow on him or nothing because, he's trying to get better. So I was like, okay, well, me and the fan finna get together because.
It was a good excuse. That was a good excuse.
I was fine until she started calling the fan Mr. Jones. And I was like, what are y'all doing? She said, we got a thing going on. I was like, that's a lot. I don't think she'd do that. That's aggressive.
Well, I tell you the truth.
Mama Noise, that's where the joke was, and that's where I went.
He's getting raw too early. We still got 45 minutes.
Right. What do you mean? Who would nurse you if she was sick? We would just sit up here and take care of each other. That's what you do.
No. She's saying I made the right move because,
No, she did the right thing. You did the right thing.
Can't be up here where we all, because Mr. Noise is crabby.
No, I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not any less crabby than you are.
Horrible patient.
I don't think I'm a horrible patient.
What? What did you
aggressive.
say?
I don't think I'm a horrible patient.
Well, there's nothing wrong with you thinking that, but I'm letting you know. I will testify.
You think I'm a horrible patient?
You are a horrible patient.
Horrible? That sounds aggressive to me.
Yeah, it's true. You be trying to fuss folk out, and I'm like, I'm trying to help you.
Okay.
Like the old man that be like, the nurse come along and say, sweetheart, I'm trying to help you. Or, you're like, dang. Okay.
Did it have that like weird sound that you just made when I was doing it?
Well, it was sounding like a rar.
Okay. I don't think it was as bad as you making it out to be. I think it was just a certain thing, certain requirements, if you will, or request, not even requirements, requests that I was making to assure that
and that's why
they tell you to advocate for yourself in the hospital.
That's why your child has got laughing emojis in the chat, is because these are facts.
I don't think it was that bad.
Oh yeah, it's bad. But if I had to endure that for you to be as well as you look right now and the well that you feeling now, I will endure the.
I won't lie to you. I feel good. Twitter said you love me, but you're not. You're my germs don't share our last name, so that's why I had to get up.
I mean, listen. I love your germs.
Oh.
I love you.
I came back too soon.
What? I mean, that's no different than dirty draws. What's the difference?
There's no difference.
Dirty draw sounds a little bit better though.
No, but it's just a cover up to the fact.
No, there were not outlandish requests. It's not outlandish at all. Why you really? You just give me the wow. The hate is real with this one. Okay.
How many times do you say rub Vicks right here, Mama Noise? Rub Vicks right here.
Rub what?
Rub
the Vicks vapor rub. Go ahead and finish it, Kyrie. It sounded kind of bad.
Rub Vicks with the V. Okay.
I just heard it too. I just heard it.
I tried to get him to clarify, but he liked leaving it right there.
We clearly need to call the place to worship because this is getting out of hand already.
Mama, I need some eucalyptus peppermint oil rubbed on 2/3 of my chest and 7/8 of my back. Yeah,
what happened?
Outlandish request. Absolutely.
That is not what happened at all. Boy, I don't get no credit.
I would just like Mr. Noise. If that's not true, then what is the truth?
It wasn't nearly like what you make it out to be. Right?
Are you saying that it wasn't
my left foot, but not my right foot?
Are you saying that did not happen?
I mean, we used a Vicks medicine rub regimen, but you rub my Vicks, so you see
that there, and see.
Whoa!
You can't get a straight answer. You got to get the most.
No, I just said it wrong. You rubbed me with Vicks is what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm.
You rubbed me with Vicks is what I meant to say. Let's just get white organized here.
Yeah, because you just
and get this thing going the right way because we all in a bad place right now. Let's see if the keyboard sounds at least similar. That's right. right, go ahead. Yeah, we good.
Oh, it's on me tonight. Good evening, everybody. Evening, everybody. It is Tuesday night, second night of revival. We ask that you pull up and participate. Bring your offerings and your tithes and your offering and your fans and bulletins and have yourself a good time. I want to say that this evening noise is spreading like wildfire. So bring a little wood and stoke the fire with us as we have another interesting night of Talking Noise.
Oh, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Man, white organists can play anything. White organist can play anything. Shout out to White Organist. He did his thing. Look at the guest pastor showing up. You know,
Damn, he's back.
he show up, he waving, and he waving to the crowd. You know, that's how them guest pastors do.
That's how the guest pastor do.
They walk in, they gotta kneel at the seat.
No, they got to sit there with a serious look on their face first.
I'm looking at cousin. He looked like he got his whole ass whooped today. Are you all right, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask this question, and it's not gonna go over well.
Here we go.
But I really want to know, seriously. It's not gonna go over well. So I apologize in advance.
Well, at least you apologize. I'll take that.
When women wear things, bear with me. When women wear things that draws a male's eyes to their body parts, what are we as men supposed to do?
Say thank you.
Should I stare at it in order to try to figure out what it is? I mean, women have writings on their shorts, on their abs, across their chest. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking.
We do know what you're talking about.
I'm just talking out loud. What are we men supposed to do? Albie, help me out.
Mama Noise, I believe he's referring to your anointed shirt that says prayer, but because you are a blessed woman and highly favored. He's trying.
Did you say highly flavored?
Favored is what I'm with. Yeah. You're blessed and highly favored. He said, I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be righteous.
No, I'm good. I'm just asking.
But then he said, evil is present on every hand. And
when I would do. When I would do.
It's all right, Mama. Listen, I personally felt blessed by your shirt. I was tremendously encouraged.
And you rightfully should be.
Right. But
be encouraged.
I already said you need to control yourself. That's what the problem is. You can't control yourself.
Who's she talking about? Mama Noise?
She's talking about Jay Jordan.
No. Control is not the issue, Tom. I totally agree. I totally disagree. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, men think about it. I mean, she joined. I gotta sit here and stare at your chest and try to figure out what the writing is. It's like, why do I have?
What if she showed you the shirt, the full shirt? Would that keep you? Would that write everything like the ship?
I don't need to show him the full shirt. I'll just tell him.
The men understand what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I am grateful for that shirt.
In particular, I'm just talking to Jim.
I was thanking God for that shirt earlier and just thankful. Hallelujah. It's a good message and a good memory all at the same time.
Especially when they have a pendant on, what you call them things? The necklace.
A brooch?
Whatever. No, the necklace, the end of the necklace is called the what? The pendant? The pendant?
Pendant.
A charm?
Whatever you
Pendant, want. Charm, yeah, same thing.
Especially when it goes off into the cleavage. And now I'm sitting here trying to figure out, should I acknowledge the beauty of it or should I say
Typically, I just have
I didn't put no necklace on.
You can't see it, help him pull it out.
I was gonna put my necklace on, but I guess I will not put my necklace on.
Mama Noise, you can do whatever you want to that area. Feel free.
I didn't realize that, you know, that ornament would bring such attention to the sleeve, to the crease.
Mama Noise, you do know you blessed now, right? You do know that, right? The Lord
I'm
has
looking for something. I have to stay as cool as I can in this house because you got it hot as I don't know what up in here because you trying to stay well. So
First of all, I don't control anything in the house. You control the temperature.
No, it's almost 80 degrees up here because we are suffering to make sure you stay well. So
I was going to say by control, if you mean cry until you get your way. Yeah.
Wow.
You know what, Al?
Wow.
Don't break up a happy home, okay? We doing just fine over here.
I'm like the big bad wolf. I can't blow that house down.
That's right, nigga. All right. Now that we've examined Mama Noise's
we did not
cleavage and we've talked
we didn't
about
examine.
So
I moved the camera.
We acknowledged it.
The camera.
You the only one
in all of its splendor.
I'm speaking in general.
Come, let us worship the bosom in the beauty of holiness. Okay.
So when a woman, some of you guys might know what I'm talking about.
You coming in hot today, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
When women go to the gym, and I've been going to the gym lately because that old thing I got that I inherited from my parents is a struggle, a daily struggle. So I've been going to the gym lately, and when you go to the gym, women don't go to the gym to really work out. Some do. I mean, some work out hard, but it's a fashion statement. It's time to dress up as if you. So I was in the gym this morning, and a lady had on a pair of biker tights. You know what I'm talking about? The biker tights.
Yes.
The short ones.
Yes. We did get your 1981 reference.
Whatever. I'm doing the best I can.
Biker tights. Come on, man. I can't let you get away with that.
Okay, then whatever you call them, damn near, whatever you call them.
Yeah.
Anyway, and your sports bra on. Now you in the gym working out, and in my opinion, your ass is half naked.
In your opinion.
Supposed to notice when you bending over picking up weights. I'm supposed to just keep working out.
Okay.
Why do women do that and expect for you not to?
What would you have them wear?
Well, you shouldn't be in the gym with lime green tights on because you know lime green will show that thing better than anything else. I'm gonna stop. I don't get too.
I'm asking, what would you have them wear if you don't want them to wear that?
You can't have on no lime green pair. I mean, it's just showing all that old rat. Forget about it.
Do you want them in a full jogging suit? I'm just trying to figure out what would be appropriate for you.
I would be just as offended if a man came in there with biker shorts on, tights on. You don't want to see that garbage either. Mama Noise, am I saying something wrong?
I mean, I'm not offended when a man has biker shorts on.
I knew she was going to say that.
I'm not offended. I mean, I'm not going, woo, look at, I mean, I don't, women don't have the, well, on second thought, there are some women that do. I was going to say, there are some women that, be like, look at that tight, whatever. I've always been shocked to hear that, but,
most women judge packages on men all the time.
Oh, you talking about, okay, like the gray sweatpants.
Well, yeah, the tights, though, the tights.
No.
I got two pairs of gray sweatpants that I wear around Mama Noise. Just saying.
I don't understand these two.
A lot of fun in the Spears household. That's all I can tell you.
This conversation.
Why is this okay? So, what do you want them to wear?
I think
you want to wear a long skirt.
I just think
touch the ground.
Appropriate attire. You shouldn't be up in there. And now I got to pretend that I'm not looking.
You keep saying you want them in appropriate attire, but you will not define what the appropriate attire is.
Do you think a woman with tights on and a tank top sports bra, where you can see the imprint of the whole pussycat?
Camel toe.
Maybe that's why they didn't let Miss Keisha in the restaurant.
They was like, "Oh Lord, anybody ready to eat with that?"
Wow. You saying Mayor Bottoms was showing her bottom?
She was probably showing a little everything.
She was in her leggings at the Capitol Grill.
She was definitely showing bottom.
I saw a meme today. Fellas like, "Honey, I'm going out with my friends." She was like, "Okay." He's like, "I'm put on a pair of sweats." She was like, "Okay." He said, "I'm gonna put on my gray sweats." She said, "Well, okay." He's like, "Everybody gonna see my print." She was like, "No, they not."
Wow.
I agree.
You're not worried.
I agree with what Tara said in the chat. She's 100% correct. Tara, you must also. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just said that because Mama Noise, just trying to be equal opportunity.
Because it's true. Go ahead.
You're fine.
You must also recognize, Tara, that men are visual. Very visual.
Okay, let's get over. Let's build this bridge. Women are visual too.
Uh-oh. Say it with your chest, Mama.
We visual. Why you think we be talking about the gray sweatpants?
Preach.
Except
I mean, we be like, okay. We say that we're not, but truth be told now, why would they be talking about biker shorts with, a guy with biker shorts on talking about, look at that tight bottom, or look at that package, or he got gray jogging pants on. If we're not visual, why are we seeing any of that?
But there are some women that would actually be offended by a man walking into a gym or whatever with all of his bulge showing. They'd be like, you know what, that's too much. But some women are offended by that. Maybe because theirs at home ain't quite as bulky. I don't know. I'm just saying. But a man would never be offended by what a woman has on. I'm just telling you that we're going to stare and look at it.
Well, I had a married friend that was having problems in her marriage, but she had no problem picking out special things to wear to the gym. And she was like, I get so many compliments.
See, that energy should have been used to shore up that relationship.
That's what I thought.
Should have wore that shit in the house.
But see, she was like, all them young men and stuff be checking for a sister and be talking about my nice workout outfit and stuff. And I'm going, okay, I don't know that you should keep buying workout gear. I mean, I'm not saying she worked out, but I told her, you need to wear that at your house,
So really the question we're asking today is, should my personal choice of attire be your problem?
It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
You just said what do you want us to do?
But just know that some people may be undressing you even further. And then that's when women get offended.
But I mean, as long as he don't put his hands on her or she don't put his hands on him, although he may want that, what's the problem? Ain't nothing I can do about somebody staring at you.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying women in general.
Yeah, I don't know. Women got it.
I think it goes back to why do they get offended when you stare? I think it's what cousin may be kind of going towards is if you were not stir, why would you get mad?
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is there's nothing you can do about what somebody's personal choice is. Like I see people with tight shit on all the time, but it's up to me to control the way I behave. It ain't up to them to control the way they dress. They already made their choice.
But see, and I agree with Ron. If I don't approach you or say something about what you're wearing, you should not get offended by me just staring.
No. I agree with you as well, Al. That's what I'm saying. We all are saying the same thing, just a little bit different.
Mhm.
How you made your choice.
Right.
Now, how I respond to your choice is my business.
Yeah, as long as I don't come at you sideways.
As long as I don't come at you, I may not ever say anything to you, but if I stare at you, what you looking at? I'm looking at you and your naked ass. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the size of your titties. What do you? You wore that outfit. I see your titties. This is where we have. This is where we've landed in this 24-hour fitness. This is where we are right now.
That was my point. That's all.
Yeah. So I now, if you don't want to get into that discussion with me about what I'm looking at, you should probably just keep walking. Now I'm probably not gonna be that crass, but I'm just saying, if you wear that outfit, it's all fair.
Does it stop at the gym?
No, that's my point. Whatever you chose to wear that day to that surrounding or that location, you're inviting eyes to be upon it. Matter of fact, you probably chose it so that eyes would be upon it.
So you think that that's what's on your mind when you're picking out your wardrobe?
Mama Noise, who picks out an outfit not to be seen?
Yeah.
You saying this one right here is a good booty shot.
I think you may not say it's a good booty shot, but you might say my booty looks good in this.
And how do you not? How do you not know as a woman we can see the entire imprint of your pussycat?
Now that's different. I don't know if I'm willing to co-sign that.
They do it though. They do it. No, Alv, don't you look like that?
No. You're absolutely right, because I know for a fact that it is the high waist jeans, high waist leggings, and they walk around and they constantly pulling them up where the seam is rubbing up against their hoo-ha. They know what we can see and what they showing.
Right.
Well, I would say this. It's impossible for you not to know the effects of your clothing on your body. Mirror or no mirror, you know what your clothes. You know if you ain't got no drawers on. You do know that. You dress yourself. So if you wearing an outfit and you ain't got no drawers on, and that's man or woman. That's man or woman. You know if you ain't got no drawers on.
And like Tara said, some folk want you to see them. And it's unfortunate, but a lot of women have low self-esteem issues, and they crave attention. They want you to notice and make comments, and then they can respond, however they choose to, but they seek that attention.
And by the way, if you seek that attention, that's perfectly all right. It's a little narcissistic for me, for my taste, but whatever. As long as you don't get offended because of something you started.
And it goes the same way for guys too, because you got those guys who they dress a certain way, they work out a certain way just to get that attention. I mean, they just
at one point it was just attention, but now with OnlyFans and Instagram and all that, it is a money grab.
Listen, brothers ain't got to work out in a tank top. The big old big buff dudes ain't got to come in there swole up with in a little ass tank top. You ain't got to do that.
Nope.
But they do it because they want somebody to say, "Wow, man, you look great."
Or look at it, nigga, you ain't got no neck.
That's a good point. I like that. So you don't have to come in there showing all your pussycat. So next time I see it, I'm gonna say, "Wow, your cat is fat."
Is that what you gonna do? That's what you gonna do.
I mean, they showing it. They want you to see it. I mean, it's.
But do they want you to comment on it though?
I mean, you working that thing out too? How many crunches that thing doing?
Seeing it and commenting on it are two different things, though. That's a big gulf between seeing it and commenting.
But did the cat meow though when she walked past?
Oh my God, what is happening right now?
You know what we need, Lloyd?
What do we need? Another opening the worship service?
No. We need a sound effect whatever sound a train makes when it comes off the
when it comes off the rail, the train is off the rail.
Collide.
I will work on a train. Let me write that down.
Oh my God.
Crashing.
That is where we are at this moment.
Right. This is certainly not the show we.
Even though I'm not blaming these certain people, because Lloyd said he didn't want us to mention their names on the show, because I'm not blaming these particular people, but they did bring attention to the camel toe.
Who did this? Who blamed it?
A certain family that's trying to come back on TV. They did bring.
There was a website out for that way before the Kardashians.
Yeah, I wouldn't put the blame on them.
I think there was a website back in the mid-90s called Rate My Camel Toe.
Yeah.
I never, ever, ever heard of that before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Until hearing like maybe the past.
You wouldn't hear about that. That wouldn't be something you wouldn't want to go to Rate My Camel Toe. I wouldn't think.
No, I don't want that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't have heard about it.
But I'm saying that where all of a sudden it's on like Entertainment Tonight. The swimsuit trend is swimsuit that clearly shows your camel toe, and you're like, I'm not sure that I need to have a swimsuit on that.
And where did all that lead us? Rejuvenation procedures and
plastic surgery of the area.
Let's not all sit here and pretend like we don't live in a world that is filled with vanity and narcissism. That is the reality of our circumstances currently here in this world we call life. That's what social media was built around. A true exercise in vanity and narcissism, which narcissism has its levels. Some take it too far. But some just say, hey, if you could just say that you like me, it'll make me feel better inside. And if I got to jiggle my ass to do it a little bit, then so be it.
I mean, they made a whole button called like.
And for some people, that's the most important button on earth.
It is.
So I get it.
You notice they haven't come out with a don't like
dislike.
Oh my God. The suicide rate would triple.
Oh my gosh.
If they ever put don't like buttons on social media platforms, the suicide
but now, wait a minute. In defense, YouTube does have a dislike button.
They do, but you don't receive that one the same way you would if you were on Facebook or Instagram. Like
it will say we will notify the whoever posted.
You know what? The video, and I did it jokingly, but the video of me singing Jesus is my rock, there were some dislikes on there. So I do know that they have.
How did you feel about those dislikes, Al?
I told the kids we need to find them, hunt them down.
You was like, y'all disliking the Lord?
The Lord.
Is that Jesus is a rock in a weary land?
No.
Okay.
Rock of Ages is actually the title of the song.
Let me hide myself in thee.
Mm-hmm.
Well. What a start to the show today. Thank you, cuz, as always.
I apologize, Lois.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I went left and I didn't mean to.
That's pretty normal.
You didn't mean to, is what you said.
Lies.
Let's.
But wouldn't left be his right lane?
I was gonna say I've never
Just
seen
look,
time you have not gone left, and so there's no reason to think that you would tonight. Today is a different day. We've updated, and what do they call it in computers when it's not is it an update?
Okay.
Yes.
Update your computer. We've updated Talk That Tuesday. If you notice that the spelling is changed, because what we've done is we created two topics for the one day. So now it's Talk That Tuesday. See what we did there? And both the topics are, I think, somewhat interesting. The first We're actually going to start with topic number 2, because it's kind of a fascinating story, with a kind of an even more fascinating end. Back in 2016, there was a group of ladies that came out and spoke vehemently. Well, I'm sorry. Let me back up. In 2013, from 2013 to 2018, a group of ladies started speaking very passionately about a young man named Collin Walker. This is Collin Walker. Some of you might look at that face and say, man, that dude looks familiar. Well, he is, because he's from the remake of the movie Superfly, that came out a few years back. He played one of the villains in that movie. But he had a side hustle as a fake photographer who went around raping young ladies. From 2013 to 2018, 3 young ladies who were all 16-year-old aspiring models were all raped by this young man. In total, there were 10 victims that he raped. However, reports show that he was acquitted of the charges related to 3 of the 10 victims, including the 2 charges of forcible rape, and he maintained his innocence when he went to court. And he kept saying, I didn't do it. I didn't rape anybody, Your Honor. I did not rape anybody. While being and they kept saying it, and he kept saying it, and he kept saying it. But this last court case, the evidence was too overwhelming from the other ladies, and finally he was convicted of rape. He now faces 100 years to life in his upcoming sentence. But what makes the story interesting is that, would we have known about this if a singer by the name of Kaepernick hadn't spoke out for the victims? And here's what she had to say.
I did not forget who tore down victims of sexual assault when this came out. I did not forget what bloggers.
Well, here's what she had to say after the verdict.
And what blogs and what platforms felt like they had to play neutral and give a rapist a platform for the sake of clicks and views when this came out. I hope all of y'all beat your own ass. I hope you eat your words. This man is going to jail for the rest of his life, guilty as hell. And it's crazy that it took this for y'all to believe it, because it should have been believed when all this came out. But I hope you feel like, and God bless these girls, and thank God that they're getting some form of peace that they have not been able to get through this entire process. That's all I have to say. I don't want to be screaming at my phone.
First of all, let me just say this. Shout out to Kaepernick. She seems like our type of people. And nothing like a woman who can cuss and bless the Lord all at the same time.
Forms felt like
she also she was it her? No, this is Sydney Stafford. Another young lady, Sydney Stafford, said that you guys called her a clout chaser, a liar, and beyond. And more importantly, invalidated so many women's stories, calling them liars and clout chasers. And now Collin Walker has been found guilty of 7 counts of rape, possibly more. So she said, suck mine for real and go drop some coins in these women's accounts. All these stupid blogs who rip these women apart, who use my involvement as an ally and your disliking of me to spew hot shit towards victims of rape. Go look at yourself in the mirror, you blogger. You know who I'm talking to. Hashtag justice. I wonder if that was Tasha K, by the way.
So I honestly...
So this is an interesting story to me because many believe, had these young ladies not spoken up on behalf of these rape victims, they don't get justice. So it made me want to ask the question today. Are we ignoring people's obvious pains or traumatic pains? Are we are people telling us what it is, and we're just like, oh, pray about it, it'll get better. You just need to take your burdens to the Lord, leave them there. And people are bringing real stuff to us, and we just ignoring them. I turn it over to you.
Absolutely, we are. You know, almost a year ago, it may not even been a year. We had a show here on Talkin NOIZ, and I think it was Unc NOIZ was talking about his neighbor and the condition of his lawn and condemned vehicles and I think M-Dub was on the show as well. And we said, we tend not to entertain other people's situations because we don't want to be burdened possibly with helping to resolve whatever situation they in. I think it was Unc said, I'm not going to go to my neighbor and then my neighbor's going to expect me to, clean up the yard, get the junk vehicles towed away, so on and so forth. So it's the same way with people's trauma and people's pain. We wish them well, but we don't want to help carry the load. So yes, we do ignore people's pain.
Wow. We wish them well, but we don't want to carry the load. Wow.
When I ask you how you're doing, I really don't want the truth. I'm just doing it to be polite. And I really don't want to know if things aren't going well. If you are, one foot in the grave and another foot in the battlefield. I don't want to hear your story as much as the question implies that I do.
How often do we stick around when we ask somebody, "Hey, how you doing?" In passing, we don't stick around for a response in most cases.
Typically, you walking past as you ask them how they do.
How you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Mama, know you have to say something.
Well, I remember I was in the pulpit and I said, if you turn to your neighbor and ask them how they really doing and wait for the answer. I didn't know the magnitude of that statement until after church service. This lady said, I asked the lady next to me how she really doing. She said, wow, nobody's ever asked me that. I'm homeless. But you saw the lady, she was dressed to the T. She said, I'm living out of this suitcase. But because the environment is so, everybody got to dress a certain kind of way and everything, that she didn't feel like anybody would believe her or, help her. So, she just didn't say anything. But when somebody asked her sincerely, how are you doing? Or is there anything I can do to help you? Literally, like Al said with what M-Dub said when he was on the show last was, I don't really want you to ask me. I mean, no, I want to say it is a cliche. It's like a greeting. It's not a actual question. It's a greeting. It says, how you doing? Yeah, it's like blessed and highly favored, Okay, and I'm still keeping it moving. But if somebody said, no, really, I have a problem. Can you help me with the problem? Then it's, let me direct you to somebody else.
Well, it goes to what Anthony Bruce just said. Do we really have any answers for him anyway? Is that why we don't really stick around for the answer to the question of how you doing?
So when he was he convicted after the movie?
Yes, he was just convicted the other day.
Just convicted the other day.
Yeah, he just got convicted. Yeah, this is happening in real time. Like he just it's May 27th.
So when they first came out about it, he didn't get charged for 3, but then he got charged for the other 7. But he just recently got charged for the other 7.
Right.
So I'm trying to think of the right way to say it without it.
You better say it right.
Without it being totally wrong. Did they give him? Did people not believe the women because of who he is now?
Let's talk about that.
I'm trying to find the right way to say that.
I think that's the right way to say it. Do people, because when did Superfly come out? Was that 2015, 16, or 14? I don't remember when it came out.
What character did he play?
He played the little young dude, little hothead dude that was the number 2 in command for
the ones dressed in all white.
The ones dressed in all white, exactly.
2018.
Okay, so he was doing his thing. So he was raping in the middle of doing his thing.
Oh.
He had already raped.
Which that's very nice with me. How was it? It took them down to figure it out. What did
so are you questioning the rape?
No, I'm questioning the lawyers, the judges, and the people who why they didn't convict him on the first 3. What was so different about the first 3 that he got off on compared to the last 7?
His character name was Juju.
Yeah, Juju. Yeah. I don't know. That's a great question. I don't really know the answer to that, Ron.
Because my issue is more with the judicial system, the lawyers, and all that than it is if people what we do as a community to help them. I mean, you got to put them through the system. You got to have the stuff there to convict.
And maybe this is a COVID situation.
Well, I was going to say those 7 cases could be that they were easier to prove non-consensual. Maybe because the first 3, it was a dating environment, and it's kind of sketchy if they said no or when they said no. But it could be something as simple as that. The 7 out of 10 were easier to prove that it was non-consensual, forcible.
And I think because of that, when people constantly hear this, and you always have these questions about is it real or if it's not real, I think it also pushes people away to really want to believe these women that it's happening to. Because they hear it so much. Well, they didn't get convicted, so it was too questionable. So people get how we said, like black people, when it comes to black people and murders, you get desensitized to it. So you really not really paying attention to what the issue is.
This is an interesting conversation. Because Tara just laid it out in 3 words. She said we blame the victims.
Oftentimes. And that's why oftentimes they are hesitant in coming forward.
I believe in society we have a difficult time, and I don't think it's intentional, but we have a difficult time believing that an attractive, successful person could actually do something so evil. So we want to believe the women, but you just can't. I mean, why would he do that? In other words, we say to ourselves, women might not say this, but men say it, he could get all the pussycat he wants. Why would he do that? So we tend not to believe that he has that in him. Listen, the reason why we struggle so hard, many of us still struggle so hard to believe that OJ actually killed Nicole. Come on, man. Why would OJ kill Nicole? He could. I mean, OJ was.
Because that nigga was crazy.
Just saying, an attractive, successful, well off, could get all the poo he wanted. I mean, why would he kill? That was the struggle for most of us. We just couldn't believe. We couldn't see why he would do it. So oftentimes, that's why. If you put that gentleman back up on the screen, he looks like a nice-looking guy. Why would he do that? He doesn't have to do that. You got plenty of girls out here just waiting to give him. I'm sorry.
Or I don't know why nobody would want his little scrawny
No, Mama Noise, that's you because of where you are in life. But there are plenty of girls that's ready for him. Trust me.
And that's kind of what I think I was leading towards with the whole celebrity thing. That's why a lot of people don't when they see a celebrity get charged, the first thing they want to say is no, because of their mentality. They can get anybody they want. Why do it?
Why would he do that?
Not realizing that these same people, they human, they have problems.
Many of us are trying to figure out what's the bright-skinned black boy that just got pled guilty to Clarence. What's his name, y'all? They pled guilty to slapping women on their booty or forcefully kissing them.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba. Okay, I don't know what I was trying to call it. But anyway, yeah, you find that hard to believe. Why would Cuba do that? He doesn't have to do that.
Right, and that goes to what Tara's saying. Rape is normally not about sex, but it's about power. It's about control.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with everything that's been said here. I guess the part that I want to go to, why don't we clearly hear the victim when they say it though? What is it? Is it so much about who the perpetrator is and what they stand for that we just can't give the victim validity? Like, what has the victim done? Or let me say it this way. This is a much better way to say it. Why do the circumstances of rape have to be perfect for us to believe what she said? Because the statistics tell us most rapes are not back alley, walking down a dark street. It's not how it happens. It doesn't happen in late night in the midnight hour in the park, and that's not what's going on. Most of them are date related. And she went on a date thinking this dude was one way, and turns out the dude was a totally different. He was an asshole, and so I get the gray area of it's her word against his. I get that, but at the same time,
But that's the hardest thing to get over, man. Is that
it's so hard, bro?
That he say, she say. It's how do you determine who tell the truth, who didn't? I mean, you got to have a lot to say one person over the other.
And I'm telling you, man, like, you know what? Here's the reality, and some of us may still feel this way. Them people, them ladies that all accuse Cosby. Most people don't believe them. They don't believe they were raped. Most people believe, what were y'all doing up there that late at night? I've thought about it. I'm like, why are y'all up there at 3 o'clock in the morning? And you know he's a married man. Like, I've had those thoughts. It's a tricky scenario, man. It's an unfortunate one because the celebrity blind, like when it first started with the Cosby thing, I was just like Pastor Dave. When the first they lying, they all lying. And then when it got up to like 14, 15, I was like, well, he probably only like maybe like 5 of them, like maybe. And then when it got up to like 72, you was like, or whatever the number ended up being, you're like, God, dog, Dr. Cosby, you out here in these streets just plugging away, huh?
But in your back of your mind, you started thinking too, come on now, ain't no way in hell it's gonna be that many. Somebody got to be. I mean, you had that in the back of your head as well because the number kept getting.
Well, right. The number sounds so ridiculous because you're saying, how does one man rape so many women?
And nobody says nothing. Nobody comes. You start putting doubt into your own self because of who that person was and what you thought of that person. Like the Jello man can't be doing that. Not pudding.
Would you be shocked if tomorrow a story came out that TD Jakes was a serial rapist? I'd be stunned. I'd be like, damn, TD Jakes? It gives a new minute. Get ready.
You would never be able to get 10 people to believe it.
So we generally have profiles of what we believe in our mind of what a rapist looks like, of what a murderer looks like.
Right.
We generally form these opinions.
And they typically don't have a 3-piece suit on and preach in the pulpit.
Right.
Yet, let me tell you something. This is full disclosure, like Mama Noise used to say. Or not used to, like she's gone away forever. Like she says, I met Eddie Long personally. I met him. I shook his hand. Sat at a dinner table with him. Aside from that tight ass shirt he had on, I thought he was an okay dude. I was like, he's fine. I mean, I didn't like him. I didn't walk away with a good impression of him because I was like, damn, that shirt's too tight. And I don't know, it was just something about, how you just feel something about a person and you're like, he seems sneaky. But I'm not gonna put my mouth on the man of God. I'm not gonna say, hey, he's a sneaky ass nigga. But the street in me was like, I don't trust this nigga. But the preacher in me was giving him a pass. The street in me was like, he'll never be around me and mine. And then it turned out I was right. I'm just saying, we give passes to people based on what? Like, why are we willing to give pass? Like, people didn't leave New Birth when the allegations came out.
You do it because of their status, because where you see them in the hierarchy.
And the more charisma you have, the less likely people are to believe bad of you.
As long as I keep my charisma up, I'm prime. I'm conviction free, or I'm accusation free.
I mean, look at the number of people that are willing to forgive pastors with charisma.
Yeah.
It's so many minute things that we start factoring in immediately. Like, man, how damaging is this going to be? Who's going to be hurt the most if these accusations are not true? And then you start saying, well, why would they got so much to lose? Why would they even do something like that? It doesn't make sense. Just like a minute ago, and this guy's a handsome fella. He don't have to go out and be doing that stuff. Why would he do that? So we just start throwing all these little minute things in and just instantly start building a case on how it could be inaccurate more so than how the accusations could be accurate.
First of all, I want to give Tara all the credit she deserves because she shared some amazing and very transparent things in the chat. She mentioned that she is a victim herself. I think she mentioned that she was a victim herself. I thought I saw that in the chat. Did I miss that, guys?
I wasn't in the chat, so I don't know.
That is, you know what? And I'm proud of you.
We've been admonished. We don't pay attention to the chat anymore.
Oh, my brothers, they just doing the right thing. I thought she said, yes, as an assault victim, I can tell you certain words that trigger me, and I know it causes that. So she admit, she has come forward to say that. And then she brought something else that was very interesting here. She said, I have a close friend, and she is not to be left alone with anyone's man. She's going to always be my friend, but am I going to leave her alone with my man? Hell no. She doesn't get a pad. She is who she is, and I accept that. Is she the friend in quotation marks, and women like that part of the problem? How could Dr. Cosby control himself? Those women threw themselves at him. Why were they in his room at 3 o'clock in the morning? It wasn't rape. It was consensual.
I can't say they're the problem because the guy still has to do his dirt. The guy still has to control what he's doing and how he's doing it, regardless of the situation, regardless of where it's at. Still the guy.
It's a tricky situation because if you don't this, and those of us that subscribe to the way of the Lord.
I gotta go. Damn.
You don't have to go. You can stay there. The problem with this is that if you choose to have premarital sex, which we've all chosen, then this is the unfortunate area that you find yourself in, because if this isn't, and again, I've said this on the show, and y'all tried to laugh me off the show, but I'm just being honest. If you don't have a way to verify the consensuality of this sexual relationship in 2022, you are open for interpretation. You're open for interpretation. Once that door closes and locks, all bets are off. How everybody comes out this room. There's a funny video that Big Ja does. Shout out to Big Ja, content creator. He does a video where he goes over to the girl's house and he gets up from having sex with her from the previous night. And she's like, okay, well, you got to go. And he's like, well, don't you want my number? And she's like, yeah, whatever. Give it to me. And he's like, okay. And then he goes in the other room. I may be mixing videos up, but the video, he goes in the other room thinking that he killed it. And she's on the phone talking Spanish. And she's like, nigga, this nigga was trash. But in his mind, he destroyed it. He was the man. He made her climb the walls in his mind. But it's two different interpretations of the same event. And that's what I'm saying. We all walk away from the events with separate interpretations sometimes. And then depending on how that interpretation gets pushed forward, it could be whatever somebody says it is. And you are guilty until proven innocent, regardless of the offense, whether it's as innocent as just a bad sexual experience or as egregious as rape. You are guilty until proven innocent. And that's what makes this whole thing so hard to deal with, because it's like, but I don't want to not hear the victim's pain. I don't want to be like the girl said, we all out here talking about it and victim shaming and this, that, and the other, because we refuse to hear it because we want to give everybody. Or is that wrong? Let me ask that question. Is it wrong to give everybody in those sketchy areas of what this is that wrong to not give the man a fair shake? Or should we automatically believe what the woman says in this particular situation?
I think you can't automatically believe because there's so many other false allegations that came out. So it's hard for you to say you're automatically going to believe. And I think the false allegations is what's hurting the victims. All the ones who are doing it falsely are taken away from the people who it's really happening to.
Well, they're all allegations until proven. Right or wrong, they're all allegations. And the problem with allegations is we know people lie. For whatever reason. And that's a sad place for a woman to be, to have to try to, well, she should have to prove it because it's an allegation that could potentially destroy somebody's life. But we generally look at it with suspect because we don't want to believe that type evil really exists, even though we know rape happens all the time. It's right. Just hard to believe that a man would force himself upon a woman. I mean, I do it all the time in my bedroom, but I mean, that's my bedroom.
That goes back to what Tara said, that husbands rape wives.
Yeah, I take it all the time, Tara. I damn sure do. She ain't as frequent as I like.
He apologized after the fact.
Yeah.
Apologize for what?
Noise media and entertainment does not validate or advocate rape in any kind, especially, and nor do we not take it seriously. We take it very seriously here. Noise
media. Yeah, we take it seriously.
That's just want to say that. These are just jokes.
That's right. That's right.
Our pastor Dave Chappelle. What do you want from us?
The church is called sliding in for a reason.
No, I'm just saying it can get sketchy. Is what we're trying to say. There was a statement I had in my head just a minute ago, and it was a really good one. And I lost it because of that joke you just told. So I'm about to think about it again.
You're getting older, young man. You're getting older.
I am. That's why I got to keep this pad over so I can write it down.
And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Hold on. Yeah, just hold on.
I got one word for you, sir. I'm gonna fight this thing. It's called ginseng.
Yeah, I want to. I mean, that's what we do. That's what old ladies are doing.
So while I'm thinking of this thing, just like the Facebook football player, I said Facebook football player from Houston, that's Deshaun Watson. All of those allegations, nobody is no court is convicting him right now. And in fact, it looks like they're going to kind of leave the whole thing alone and just leave it to civil suits. So, are these victims or opportunists?
Once again,
this is tough, man.
There's got to be some victim in there somewhere because there's too many cases.
Yeah, Ron, but they were selling ass.
They were selling.
We don't know. Well, hold on. We don't know that they were selling ass.
Wait now.
We don't know that they were selling ass. We don't know that.
They were selling massages. They were
selling massages.
Pay to work. Pay to work. It's a legit business.
And those that are very successful, like the owner of the New England Patriots, they don't go to just any old massage parlor. They go to the one where they know they can get the full service.
Okay, so is that a victim or an opportunist? Is that a victim or this is bad business transaction?
You know, it's a blurred line.
Very blurred.
Because you have people that do stuff as an actual profession, like real masseuses that give massages that actually give a massage, and you have the ones that do it as a profession and do the extracurricular. So it's a blurred line because you're saying, oh, I did this and all I was expected to do was give the massage. But then you got the ones like we had on the show. We showed the video on the show about the girl that was like, now look, it starts out as a massage. But she like, he paid for the extracurricular.
Okay, but if he paid for it, is she a victim or an opportunist? And if you pay for it and you agree upon the price, that doesn't sound like a victim to me.
It's a classic example of what Unc always says. Two things can be true.
So what does that mean to you, Al?
That means that I was seeking an opportunity to improve my financial situation by taking on a little extra something, and it went too far. You know that happy ending comes with a little extra bonus pay.
Sexual harassment is typically placed in the category of harassment with the use of power over the individual that is being harassed. So in some form or fashion, you have exuded some measure of power, or you have control over that person's whatever. So if you add a financial transaction in, or I'm just throwing out a scenario. If you go to a massage parlor and you usually make $100 per massage, and the guy's Robert Kraft, and he says, listen, I know you normally get $100, but I'm Robert Kraft. Here's $1,000. if you just do this for me, is that a victim because he exuded power and over her, or is that someone saying, well, I can make this month's rent now because I see an opportunity?
Well, like Al said, it can be both. He put his power out there. That person began to consent, but then they changed their mind, and he doesn't.
But can you?
But if they tell you to stop and you continue, it's where the line gets blurred, man. That's where it changes from consensual to assault.
Well, right. If they say stop
or no,
and you don't
leave
stop,
me alone.
And power says, "I paid for this."
Well, you pay for a lot of stuff. Don't mean you're gonna continue to get everything that you asked for.
But when your head gets swole up, well,
it goes back to
power. The power that you just like. In other words, I'm Robert Kraft, and I paid for this. So because I am who I am, because of the influence I am, because of the money all of that power means you what I get what I pay for.
But power doesn't absolve you of doing something that you shouldn't. And with that power, you should be smart enough to say, "You're right. I'm not gonna be a narcissist. I'm gonna say you're right. I'm gonna stop and go, and you can get it.
Get my money back.
Get my money back." But he took that power to his head and said, "No, F this. I'm Robert freaking Kraft."
Right.
So when you go into a
here it comes.
McDonald's,
fancy restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And all them stars and diamonds and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you are paying so much for the food, because it's still a steak. It's still a piece of shrimp. I mean, but the reason why you pay so much for the food is the attention and service that you get.
Okay.
So people will go an extra mile to give you quality of service when you are paying, or when you have the ability to pay, or when you have the ability to tip. I'm gonna go a little bit farther than I normally would go with my service, because you have the ability to take care of me. Now, can I misconstrue all of that attention you giving me? All that smiling you giving me while you rubbing on me? Can I misunderstand that? Sure I can. But then you may not say no, because now you feel like you're in a position where you have to follow through.
Right.
It is a very blurred line situation.
Very blurred line.
Here's the reason we said both things can be true at the same time.
Listen. I remember a long time ago in my early 20s, I went out on a date with this guy. And when I went on a date with him, we riding down the street and I said, "I need you to take me home." And he like, "Shh, I ain't taking you home." I said, "Okay." I asked you, pick me up at my house. I asked you to take me home. And now you're talking about what you're not going to do. Okay. So I jumped out of the car while I was still rolling. Because I didn't know what his "I ain't taking you home" means. Does that mean you're going to take me somewhere and harm me? Does that mean you're going to cross all these other lines and do some other stuff that I didn't, I thought we was going on a date. When you talking about what you're not going to do, I felt like I had to, look out for my life. Now, I know you probably say, you should just tell them to just stop the car. But I ain't know what was going to happen.
Did you ever see the guy again?
Oh, I seen his punk. I mean, I seen it. Then it's all how you do.
And that was the first thing that should have made you know that something was wrong with him. Because anytime you laugh with your tongue out like that,
Yeah.
then that nigga ain't right. That nigga ain't right.
I'm just saying, and sometimes you get put in a situation where, because see, you know, I think Tara said it earlier in the comments in the chat earlier. She said, you know, it starts at home. Well, you know, my grandmama and them used to say was, what, like you said, what was you doing there? Why was you out that time of night? What was you doing with him? What, you know, why was you dressed like that? What, maybe and find a way to make it the woman's fault. It was never the guy's fault. Your skirt was too short. You showed too much cleavage. You did this. You did that. Did you cross your legs? Did you make sure you was covered up? Did you make what? I wore clothes.
It's easier to find fault in the victim than it is to find it in the person that did the crime.
Let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all ever been in an environment, a club, a party, a college, a house party, whatever, and you saw someone, a female, in trouble, and you responded to that trouble?
Yes.
Or a family member in trouble, and you responded to that trouble?
Yeah.
What made you respond?
Because I didn't feel comfortable. I felt uncomfortable. Like, I feel like I would be uncomfortable in that situation. So if this person ain't gonna speak up for themselves, matter of fact, I was frequent about that. I was frequent where anytime my soror or sister or one of the girls on my floor in my dorm was in a situation or something like that, I don't know why I felt instinctive like that, but I would be like, "You all right? You good? Is he?" Because see, I didn't have a problem addressing the guy. Where she would be like, you know, quit. And I'll be like, you know, you all right? Because if is he acting out? Is he cutting up? Then it would be, no, he just, you know. No, I had no problem speaking up.
Yeah, you gotta be very careful with that. I mean, I'm the same way. Right is right, wrong is wrong. You see somebody getting done wrong, you should say something about it, especially a guy on a female. You know, but you gotta be careful because it could go wrong and go south on you.
It could, but I was willing to take that risk because some people don't know how to speak up for themselves. Some people weren't taught to speak up for themselves. So they like, in other words, I'm just so glad he's paying attention to me. Bump that. If this dude is pulling up your clothes, trying to put his hand down your pants and all this other type of stuff, and you're saying you don't want that, you don't have to take that.
No, you don't, and that's the reason why I step up. I mean, I ain't gonna see nobody get done like that. Period. It just it's a slippery slope. You gotta be careful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just 2-3 weeks ago, young man. Actually, we know Rod, who went to Moorhead. It was a friend of his who was coming out of a convenience store. Woman and her husband were having an argument. He tried to intervene on behalf of the female whom he did not know at all. And the husband took the life of him and his now deceased wife. So you have to, huh?
Yeah, he killed both of them.
He killed both of them.
Yeah.
Did you say he killed Rod?
No.
I thought you was like,
I said we know Rod. This gentleman was a friend of Rod.
Friend of Rod. Okay. I was like, wait, Rod?
No.
Rod? Okay,
But I've actually seen the females turn on the guy that came over and helped.
Yeah.
I've seen that too.
You have to really weigh the consequences. And I know, we all want to be a knight in shining armor. And I've done it. I've left my job to go rescue a female that was endangered with her boyfriend, But you have to really weigh the consequences and ask yourself, is this where I want my last stand to be? Because it could very well be.
Cuz is shaking his head.
And you SOBs call me defenders of the earth. And I ain't never jumped in nobody's situation, and I won't ever do it. You crazy as hell.
Well, that is probably true because I have jumped in on some situations.
Yeah, same guy that won't give change to the guy on the side of the road. So we understand.
Wow.
I won't do that. What I will do is call the police up. Security.
Security.
Top flight.
What I ain't gonna do is jump in the middle of nobody's situation. Listen.
So what does it mean? Okay, so to Cuz's point, what does it mean to hear the victim? I've already, by the way, I've already identified the flaw in Talk That Tuesday because we may not get to the other topic at all.
That's facts.
You can get to it. You just got to cut the question off. It's okay.
But you got to cut this off at some point.
Yeah.
But what does it mean to hear the victim then? Does it mean what Cuz said? Like they take the L of the rape, but you call the police on their behalf and maybe help them through the other side of it, or does it mean to stop them before it ever happens?
Call the police.
It's a tricky thing.
Call the police sometime, man. Like you walking by somebody say, "Hey, how you doing?" Usually, people call the police. They don't stay around.
Some people don't know that they are a victim. They think it's love. They like, you don't understand. He just have a hard time communicating.
Well, you said a mouthful just there.
They don't know any different. What they're experiencing could be right for all they know.
I've literally had couples tell me the toxicity in their relationship. And I told, I'm not an advocate of divorce, but I told one of the couples, y'all need to separate. This is never going to work. If you can't not put your hands on her, this is not going to work. They never separate.
But here's the thing.
I don't understand it.
Here's the thing. If you've never had a porterhouse, if you've never had a T-bone, if you've never had a ribeye, your ass is gonna think round steak is the best steak on the face of the earth.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. You know what's peculiar about this is that I remember going to or I think we had as a special guest a person from a women's shelter or a counselor. A counselor came to as a speaker, and the counselor explained rape. There was a lot of people that did not understand what it is and were kind of dumbfounded. And I was like, okay, like the one thing that dumbfounded me was when you tickle somebody, you're tickling them and they've told you to stop. And they keep tickling you. And then you change your stop to, you first said no, and then they keep doing that like to get you to change your mind.
Mama knows you hurting my foreplay there. You hurting my foreplay. Now I can't go tickle my wife no more.
And I tickle my daughter all the time and my wife, and they both tell me to stop, but I keep going.
But see, I didn't know that was a thing. They was like,
let me. Oh man, we're about to step in it now. I should have cut this off a long time ago.
This is the last one. This is it. After this,
I have heard those same speeches by those advocates, rape advocates, and I'm gonna tell you something. This is my humble opinion. Their definition of that is a very tricky definition because their definition to me lacks interpretation of intent, and that I don't know why you would not consider that to just blanketly say here. Oh man, I'm about to step in it. Here's what makes this tough. When you say no means no and you blanketly say it that way, it removes the opportunity for innocent intent to be considered in the act itself. So to your scenario, Mama Noise, if I'm tickling my daughter and she's giggling and laughing and she says, "Stop, Daddy, oh, stop, Daddy, stop." She doesn't mean stop in the sense of I'm hurting her or I'm violating her. She just can't handle the level of tickling and laughing, and it's okay. That part matters, because if we remove and therein lies part of the problem. Tara hit it right on the head. Their interpretation makes all the parties responsible for their act, which is true and not true. This is what I mean by not true. If I translate that over to consensual sex, then that means at any point that I hear a no, even if the no is not an actual no, I've still violated based on that that rule that is being
that
stated.
no means no.
Right. And it's oh man.
Well, look at this. If a person they've given you permission at some point because draws is down and is moving forward, right? Ain't nobody said nothing. But if the person's no goes from no, is it still no? Is it go from it's full speed ahead, then all of a sudden, stop it, stop.
And by the way, if I've reached a point during the sexual act where you've said to me no, but we've already penetrated, or we've already done this, or we've already done that, and you now say no, at the point of the no, is that where the rape occurred?
Slippery slope.
That's all I'm saying. This is woo.
Listen, I like some of what Tara's saying. Not all that BS, but some of it is good. Listen, when we interact with our daughters and play with our daughters, and I hope men have done that or do that. And they say stop or no, we keep going. And it's in part because we're playing. I have to tell my daughter stop 10 times when she's wrestling with her daddy, when she's on top of her daddy's head and beating me down and I can't breathe, and I have to finally say, get your ass off of me. I mean, we're having a good time. We're playing. But are we teaching them that no is not no? I mean,
it means you ain't giving the right.
That's a valid point.
Well, I mean, you're teaching them based on the situation too.
Yeah,
there's a big difference between playing and.
But I don't know if we always know how not to transfer the circumstances in these situations, Ron. That's the challenge of it, man. It's like, at what point, man? Oh man, this is rough. So we have created this problem. Like we really have.
Because like if you say it's a no,
go ahead.
If it's a no, then if we teach our children, it all depends on what you're working with. If I'm saying to their father, if he said, Kenyatta, absolutely not. And then I say, well, let me see if I can talk to him. Well, now they're saying, well, no, don't mean no. It means it depends.
Oh, I see what you're saying. If something you want, and then you can talk me into it. Ugh. Oh man, why'd you introduce that part?
What are we talking about?
Part? Okay, so if I talk you into it, do I go by the first no or the second yes?
I mean,
oh man,
or is it a combination of both, and it's just a maybe? I mean, you teach your kids. You teach your kids the difference between.
Go back. Go ahead, Ron.
No. So you teach your kids the difference between what is play, because you tell them, hey, we're playing around, and y'all joke around about the nose and the stop. I mean, they know it from play, but you also are teaching them what is right and what is wrong. If somebody does X to you, and it doesn't feel right, you're teaching them that's a no, and that's where you got to defend yourself. You got to get away. So you're teaching them both. So they shouldn't be getting confused based on how you're raising them and what you're teaching them.
I think if I had a son, and because I want you to jump back in there, I think I would teach him whatever no you hear, get the hell out the room.
Run, Forrest.
I think that's what I would teach him.
Okay, so I like that thought, but I actually like or honor the fact that my daughter doesn't take no.
Uh-oh.
But there's a difference between no and stop, though. We saying no. No and stop is two different things, though.
Well, okay. I get that.
I don't want you to pay I ain't paying your car payment. If me saying I ain't paying your car payment, the same as saying stop.
Daddy, can I go? No. She's never going to take that first no. She's going to come back. She's going to keep trying. I believe that bullheadedness, to a degree, is useful in life. You don't take no, or you don't take rejection.
I get that.
So that's a delicate balance too.
It is. Oh my, this is a tricky.
That's that slippery slope.
Do we want generations and generations of men who won't take no for an answer under any circumstance, or do we want a culture that understands clearly the boundaries? And maybe that's part of the problem, man. Maybe these boundaries just have not been defined to a place where victims have a place or a platform to where they can't say I've been victimized. Because we've left all this up for interpretation. I don't know what a no is. It was consensual. It was this. It was that. I'd love to hear the cases as they were presented. Were these consensual dating situations? Did he end up in a room with these ladies? I heard some stuff, but I can't confirm all of it. But I'm just gonna give you what I've heard. That he presented himself as a photographer, and as that photographer, he presented himself as being able to do X, Y, and Z and models and blah blah blah. Next thing you know, he was raping these women. But now the age of the women says more than just consensual sex. It says that's pedophilia. You're a rapist and a pedophile.
You're talking about a guy who was messing with 16-year-olds. I mean, they're
right. That's a whole different thing to me.
Right. They're still learning. You know, they're still. I mean, they're still young. I mean, they're still learning. They're still wet behind her. I mean, so it goes a long way, man.
But you know,
like you said, he was so charismatic. It goes back to our charismatic statement. Mm-hmm. He was charismatic enough that he was talking to the jury to make them say, "This is not a guy that this would ever happen to." Right. He has too many opportunities.
Woo. You know what's really scary is when I think about this guy. Is I remember as a young woman in my late teens, there was this guy on like one of them streets over there by my grandmother's house. I don't know if it was, I knew what street it was, but I don't remember the name. Anyway, so he was a police officer. But in his basement, he had a photography studio.
Yeah, that's the first strike right there.
And he was like, "You look like a model. Don't you want to, come over and let me take your picture?" Like, come over to your house and let you take my picture. But I have a studio. And see, that right there is like a hook in the fish's mouth. a bait, because even on a lot of these shows I watch, a lot of my CSI shows, all these other FBI shows and stuff, it's always some really young girl that's a teen that ends up being roped in or, baited in with fame or modeling, or, I just want to take your picture. He thinks my looks are good enough to be a model, to take pictures of. And that says, low self-esteem. It says, we're starving for some type of validation, attention. And that's really scary, because a whole lot of these girls don't get a chance to come back and tell the tale of, the guy really didn't care nothing for me. It was just bait to get me in and do me some type of harm.
Yeah. Lot to unpack there. We just got a few minutes left. The second story is not as big, so that's why we started. I mean, the first story is not as big, that's why we started with the second story. It's real simple that we talked about a little bit yesterday. I Am Athlete brought back Collin Kaepernick on the show, on the podcast, and was like, "Hey man, tell us where you are. Tell us your story from your mouth. Stop using everybody else to tell your story." And so Collin Kaepernick said, "I want to play. No team up. Only one team has reached out to me. That was the Seattle Seahawks, and that was a long time ago. And back then they said, you're a starting quarterback, and we have a starting quarterback, so we don't need you. But now they don't have a starting quarterback, and they need somebody."
Was that the equivalent of telling somebody they're overqualified?
They're overqualified for the position, yes.
Which in the NFL is stupid, because every NFL team wants two starting quarterbacks.
You would think you wanted, a good quality
especially
backup.
if you can afford them.
If you don't have a starting quarterback as a backup, then why the hell do you have a backup quarterback?
Right. So it brings up this question, because he said, "I'm willing to do anything, even if it means playing the backup role." Which I will say that kind of surprised me to hear him say that, because I was kind of under the impression that a backup role was not something that he would be interested in. But I guess time has caused him to soften that stance a little bit.
Kind of like women that say they want tall, dark, and handsome. As time passes, they just want that nigga to be alive.
Right. If he has a pulse,
and at least one good leg.
Kaepernick started out as a backup.
Right. So,
well, what is that? Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
There you go.
If you ain't got a man, you fond of whatever comes along.
So I wrote the question a certain way because it's interesting to me. He said, they asked, Brandon Marshall said, "Let's play devil's advocate. I'm an owner. What would make me think that you wouldn't be a distraction on my team?" And so he lauded, "Well, I've never been a distraction on a team before. My coach Chip Kelly said I wasn't a distraction. My coach Jim Harbaugh said I wasn't a distraction. No teammate has ever said I was a distraction. So why would you think that I was a distraction, right?" Which I have a feeling about that, but I'll share that in a minute. But then I go back to something that Ron and I talked about offline. Ron and I and Alan talked about offline. I'm bringing you into the conversation because he has a whole show on Netflix, Collin in Black and White. And I want to say episode 2 or 3, he proceeds to call the NFL owners slave owners and say that it's a slave mentality and blah, 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 blah. And he goes pretty hardcore against the NFL. And now he's saying, "I want a second chance in this league." So I wanted to ask you gentlemen, and I'm sure we're going to get into this in some measure in the 5 tomorrow, but I just want, I respect the guys here on this panel as well and your opinions. Does this guy, I hate to say it that way, but does Collin deserve a second chance in the NFL?
I think everybody in every situation deserves at least one opportunity to redeem themselves, be it in the NFL, be it in a relationship. I think everyone should be afforded at least one opportunity to right a perceived wrong or to redeem an actual wrong. That's just me.
Does he have to walk back those comments for owners to feel comfortable giving him a shot?
Nothing against the team I'm about to say. The Dallas Cowboys give more opportunities to people on a football team than probably any team I know.
That's true.
And if all those guys can be redeemed and given opportunity for what they've done, how the hell can Collin Kaepernick? Well, yeah.
Other teams give
They
bad
do.
actors just as many chances.
But how do you not get Collin another opportunity, regardless of what he said?
No, hold on. The only difference is them Cowboys is America's team, and we get more.
We're not. That's not this show. That's a different show. It's a different show.
But I like where you're going with that, Jay. I like
one that I will never produce.
He's 100% accurate. So
he is off. Like he's wrong as two left shoes.
But to say he can't get another opportunity, I mean,
you use it.
And I do not think that opportunity should be contingent on an apology.
No, because technically, what did he do wrong?
Well, he didn't do anything wrong in the sense of what is right and wrong. In their mind, the thing that I struggle with him coming back, sounds terrible, but it's the truth. You calling people slave owners, bro. And I'm not saying you're wrong, because I think that, in many ways, there's very much a plantation slave mentality when it relates to the NFL. Now, does that make us all toxic because we watch it religiously and play fantasy football? Possibly. But at the same time, how do you do that?
But he's never
wore cotton garments.
Yeah.
So
they had a uniform. But again, he's never said nothing that nobody else has not already said. He's not the first person to ever say that.
But he is the first person that's ever sued for it and won.
But the thing is, what he is saying is, I deserve the right to play football. I don't deserve the right to be. I'm not asking for the NFL to agree with me. I'm not asking for the owners to apologize, or I deserve the right to play football, and because for that, I deserve a second chance.
All right, cuz, jump in there.
No, I struggle with the slave reference. I understand the ownership part and most of the players on the team being black and the mentality of you owning me and watching me perform for you. I get that reference, but I disagree with it. Slavery was an evil thing. And how we want to link the two, ownership of a team and slavery, I don't go that far. You're well paid, you have rights, but just as with any company, you don't have total rights. You can't do and say whatever you want to at FedEx and the hospital and anywhere else you work. There are ramifications for what you say or do. My brother talks about it all the time. He's in corporate America. He can't say and do things on social media because of his position in corporate America. Are those slave owners too? So I have a difficult time with that part. Has he burnt the bridge is the question.
Yeah.
And my answer to that is probably so, but I don't really think so. I think that he should come back because I believe that any owner that takes the chance on him will gain so many fans, so much media attention. It will be, especially if he does well, it will be a Cinderella story. And that team will be noticed. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. So there's a risk, but there's also a great reward for someone that takes on Colin Kaepernick.
So why you say you think he burned bridges with the ownership?
Well, I mean, you call white people slave owners, they get real offended.
But if you go and watch, I don't know which episode it is. The way he lays it out there, you like, oh damn, there are similarities. You know, with the combine, yeah, how he equated that to the auction blocks. It's like
I didn't say he was lying. I just
right.
So, but the problem is they do the same thing for the white players. So where's the slavery?
Well, because it's 85% one way versus the other.
I mean, but shithead, that's just because white boys can't jump. I mean,
but ain't our problem. They can't jump.
I mean,
I wonder if slaves would be offended.
And if you compare it to corporate America doesn't do the same thing as what the NFL does, and how the NFL recognizes their talent, observe their talent, and
physicality.
Right. So corporate America doesn't do that. Corporate America looks at something totally different. It's more on your merit and what you know versus what the NFL does. But to say this man can't get back in the league, and you let all these other players back into the league, you let the white boy for a team in yellow and black, y'all let him back on there, and y'all hugged him.
I wonder if slaves would be offended by what he said.
I would think so.
Because they didn't walk off the auction block with $1 million checks.
They didn't get to go home at night and sleep in plush.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel you, and Al, you hit it right on the head. I get the similarities, and it is a weird evaluation process. We're gonna take your shirt off and look at your chest and measure your. It is weird. I will admit that there's something very 1800 about it. But
they do it to everybody.
They do it to everybody.
There are some white players who opt out of doing that stuff, and they have no issue still getting drafted. So
there's some white players that opt out.
Yeah,
white and black opt out.
But it's more the whites that opt out of that than the black players.
It's a tricky thing, man.
But I think Collin's point was the similarities of how they look at the talent. I don't think it's more that, hey, you guys are truly slave owners. It's the process of how they make their determination.
It is. It's just my thing is, how do you walk that back though? Like that's a lot to. So okay. So let me make it more palatable for all of us to receive. If somebody called you, Ron, a black son of a bitch, would you hire them after they did that?
No, because the job that I'm looking for, if your professionalism is that bad, I'm not bringing you on that job.
But that's what they're saying about him. Like they're saying, bro, you out here making whole documentaries and calling us slave owners. How are we supposed to bring you back like that didn't happen?
But again, you're looking at corporate America versus the NFL.
Well, in the NFL, corporate America is a $1 billion industry.
I mean,
I would say this. I would say this.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I would say this in relation to your statement. How do they forgive and move on from that? Ted Cruz set the example of how to move on when somebody says something left about you and your wife, and you turn around and make it your business to kiss their ass. It's because it's about power and it's about money. So they have the potential to make money off of him. So how would they look past it? money. And I'm gonna say this, and I mean it to my core. That's the American way.
Yeah.
That's the whole history of America. It's about that money. It's about that power. Doesn't matter if I like you or not.
So does this come down?
Doesn't matter if I break laws or not.
So does this come down to what Stephon said? Is that I know he's in shape, but man ain't played in 5 years. Can he play? Is it just simple as can you play or not? If you can't, because listen, with all due respect to Collin, and I don't mean any disrespect at all. You throwing to guys on a field with nobody trying to tackle you, and that don't tell me you can play. Now I will say this. Go back and look at the I Am Athlete podcast. Go look at the visual part of it. Ocho Cinco, who I think is, has at least some Hall of Fame tendencies. I don't know if he's a Hall of Fame player, but he had Hall of Fame tendencies. And Brandon Marshall were out there on the field with him, and also Adam Pac-Man Jones. All three of them walked away saying, "Listen, that dude can sling that thing."
But what quarterback do you see play live ball as an audition to get into the NFL? Every one of these combines you go to, they're throwing to somebody.
I feel you on that, Ron. But those are also the problem with what you're saying. Not problem, but the challenge I'm having with what you're saying is those are young dudes that are doing that. This ain't no young dude doing that.
There's backup quarterbacks that never got into a game in 7 years and still got jobs.
That's true.
Because they can sling the ball to somebody in practice with nobody coming against them.
Well, listen, I'm on record as saying this. I think somebody should bring him in. Bring him in, and let's end all the mystery. Either he can play or he can't. Because I'm with Cuz.
Name 32 quarterbacks better than him.
Here's the perfect scenario to me. Bring him in, and somebody like Tampa Bay brings him in, and he's the backup quarterback to Tom Brady. That's a perfect scenario.
What does Jacksonville have to lose?
But why even do that, Lloyd? Name 32 quarterbacks out of the 100 quarterbacks that's in the league right now. That's better than Colin Kaepernick as of right now.
I can't.
What does Cleveland Browns have to lose?
Well, they got Deshaun Watson right now.
Well, what about the New York Giants?
We need him. Listen, if he can play, we need him.
You can't find 32.
What we already got right now, in my opinion. But
you're not gonna find 32 backup quarterbacks that will take over him.
I would say this about this country, and this is a part of this country's history.
Yeah.
When we screw up, they don't forgive us.
Oh boy. Hold on. You need the solo screen to say that again and say it for the people in the back. Say it one more time.
When we screw up, they don't forgive us.
They don't forgive us.
Right.
And therein lies the problem. Right. And by the way, this ain't technically a screw up. The no. Kneeling, not a screw up. No. What he stood for on that field, not a screw up. All of that's not a screw up. Now, if you want to say calling people slave owners a screw up, I'll stall you out on that. That might be a screw up.
Trump calling you a bastard, not a screw up? Trump calling you a bastard, not a screw up on TV?
That's part of the kneeling to me. That's not a screw up.
But you forgive Trump. That's a screw up. You forgive Trump, but y'all don't forgive him?
I would really like to see the numbers of how much the NFL was truly affected by that whole thing. I'd really love to see the numbers because I don't hear, in the words of my pastor, I don't believe these motherfuckers. I just don't. I don't believe it was as bad as they say it was from a ratings perspective, from a merchandising perspective, from an attending the game perspective. I just don't believe that. I maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe that. The NFL is, listen, the NFL without question, in my humble opinion, is the most toxic league in the world. And we watch it religiously. We watch it faithfully. We watch it every Sunday.
But you answered your own question. Have you seen ticket prices go down?
That's what I'm saying.
Have you seen ticket prices go down? Have you saw merchandise really stop selling? Coming off the
Iran,
shelf?
let them tell it. They took a hit. Oh, ratings were down, and people boycotted. Who are these people that boycotted?
No. White people did boycott now.
Were we really counting West Virginia numbers?
In the mountains?
I mean, were we really counting Mississippi's numbers like that?
And think about it. The NFL's contract with television isn't a year-to-year contract. So your ratings might have been down, but NBC still paid the NFL.
Yeah, listen, we weren't counting the SEC countries' numbers anyway. They don't watch the NFL anyway. All they watch is Saturday. They think Saturday is Sunday. When Alabama's playing in Ole Miss.
You have to understand the league's desire to keep and attract more white people. That's real.
It is real.
Why do you think all these ESPN shows got a white woman as the anchor?
Oh, my facts. That's facts.
You say attract more white people?
They want to attract more, keep and attract more.
Oh, okay.
Their key demographic is
and they're trying to do that with blonde hair white women.
Their key demographic is white men 35 to 55.
You're damn right.
No question about it.
And they currently have that market.
You said
they're watching. They're watching it. We're trying to play in it.
But guess who had the #1 jersey sale the year Colin Kaepernick did what he did?
Cap.
Black people got financial power too. We don't go to the games, but we buy all the merchandise.
Put a Nike logo on it, goddamn it, you'll sell it.
And that matters. That's got to matter to the bottom line. Now, I don't know how much it matters to the bottom line. Maybe it don't mean anything. Maybe it don't move the needle at all. But I don't believe that, because if that were true, it wouldn't keep pushing that shit on me every Sunday.
Nike love you, because Nike sales are up on those jerseys. They still getting paid.
I think he deserves a second chance. I think we can end this whole conversation by bringing him on the team, letting him try out, and if he makes the team, then fine. If he don't, then we can put an end to it. The whole thing is over with. He ain't good enough to play. I think it should come down to that. Is he good enough to play or not? If he's not, let's move on.
Like we said yesterday, dude. I don't even want to see him back in the league. I prefer to see him in the front office. Me personally, I don't want him on the field. I think they're gonna do everything they can to tarnish his legacy.
I think he just wants to leave on his own terms. Go ahead, Al. You muted.
Actually, I think he needs to be in the players' union somewhere.
Well, maybe that's why he wants to come back.
Because they are lacking some intestinal fortitude.
They feel like the Democrats.
When it comes to them standing up to the owners. So
I'm not gonna let Ron get away with that.
Damn.
The Democrats.
I think Collin, like you said, players union somewhere in the front. I think he'll be more powerful by helping the players and helping his cause than him getting back on the field. And they do everything they can to make this man look bad, to tarnish him and say he ain't worth too good.
I agree with that, Ron, from a personal standpoint for himself. But our young black men and America needs to see that there is redemption, that you can go left, if you will, and recover. The problem is that example is in America, but it only exists for white people. It doesn't exist for black people.
But I think it's just as powerful for black people to see that you came in and you was redeemed at a higher level that had a higher purpose than throwing a football on the field.
Can I throw this out just for fun? Just for fun. Why didn't he try for the CFL and USFL?
Pride.
I'd watch.
Pride. He thinks he's better than that.
He is better than that. But
prove it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Prove it. Go dominate that league. Win a championship. You don't think the NFL would come calling?
Hell, I'm sure Johnny Manziel thinks he's better than that.
Well, he's not, but
He's
I'm
not.
just saying. Well, he thinks he is. You're right.
Right.
Baker Mayfield. What's the other guy?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
I think Baker makes too much money to be dilly-dallying around with USFL.
I'm gonna say this because it's true, and you guys might not be with me on this, but it's real. There's a certain segment of the population in this country that would resent the NFL if the NFL caves and gives him a job.
No question about it.
They will feel that the NFL is giving in to black people and black causes.
Once again.
Yeah. No question about it.
Oh, yeah. I'd say that's probably the majority.
And that's why I think that majority is what would tarnish if he did go back in there.
Crazy,
man.
Interesting.
You ready to run all bootlegs to the right then?
Right.
All of a sudden, he don't have a line blocking for him. Tight ends are missing blocks, and come on.
Yeah.
You know, the amazing part here is that white people, to a degree, still believe that institutional racism don't exist.
Oh my God, they don't get it. They absolutely don't get it.
Or they don't want to see it. I don't know what it is, but we here are explaining just how institutional racism is holding that man back.
Because they call it, they're just mad at Collin Kaepernick. That's what they call it.
I would love to, if you guys get a chance, please go watch the podcast. I Am Athlete. I think it'll that episode is interesting. It's not the Collin Kaepernick interview is not that long, but the comments that they make pertaining to it are equally as interesting as the interview itself, and I think it's worth a watch. Fascinating stuff, man. We say, Lewis, how many people have sued their former employer, won the case, then worked for that employer? I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question.
Bring up Tara's comment.
Because you saw it in the chat?
Yeah.
Tell her we're not talking about Clarence Thomas, Tara. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The funny part, the fact that he won the lawsuit should tell you how bad it really was in the NFL.
Well, they gave him the money to make him go away, and he won't go away. They probably want their money back. They're like, bro, you supposed to leave and go somewhere. Why you still here?
How much you think he got?
If you believe the rumors, it was somewhere between $15 and $20 million. Or $10 and $20 million. I'll say it that way. I'll widen the range a little bit. Now, is that enough to make me go away?
That's a drop in the bucket in the NFL.
It's a drop. It's definitely a drop in the bucket based on. Well, I don't know, but one thing that they remind me of on the 5 all the time. But when he was playing at the end, at the moment he got cut, he wasn't that good because he was sitting on the bench technically. You muted, Ryan.
Probably can name 28 other quarterbacks I can say the exact same thing about. He had a bad year, so he was sitting the bench. Oh, so he wasn't that good.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'd love to see him go be back up to somebody, like I said, like a Tom Brady or even a Lamar Jackson, a team that could insulate him, and it's not a big deal. Now he kind of screwed up that Ravens thing because his girlfriend started talking reckless.
Yeah.
But
think about it, dude. So you say that about Colin Kaepernick. What about Wentz?
He sucks.
He sucks.
I'm sorry. That was.
He keeps getting chances at team after team, but you saying, "Oh, Colin Kaepernick's was on the bench his last game. He ain't no good. Come on, man.
Well, I mean, they're still holding on to hope that he could possibly be a great right hope. I mean, they don't want to let that go. They want to give him a fighting chance over and over again.
Oh,
Everybody knows he sucks.
oh, okay. Just make sure everybody understands that he sucks.
Right.
I mean, everybody knows that, but still, they just hopeful.
All right. Well, listen, if you missed anything tonight, or if you'd like to see this again or tell your friends about it, you can share it in the morning when it goes live again, but not really live. It's a live replay.
Whoa. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, will be live.
Wrong day, bro.
My bad. Players mess up.
Know your noise.
You know your noise media schedule.
I'm very tired.
Can you know your schedule?
So we are live tomorrow.
You won't hurt my feelings if you play a replay. You won't hurt my feelings at all.
Well, we'll have it in post-production. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in post-production.
Mama Noise, can you please do the ending credits? Because he don't know what's going on.
I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I do know one thing that is happening tomorrow. I do know this schedule. Tomorrow night, the brothers of the five are gonna be on tomorrow night. The NBA playoffs have been incredible already.
How about the Warriors?
Man, listen.
How about them Mavs?
Listen, did they still won or did they still won?
They stole that.
Come on. Listen. We need and I'm proud of the Mavs for doing that. I don't think they need to bring Luka back. I think they need to chill on that and just let the man heal. But can I just tell you what I'm praying for Christmas, for NBA playoff Christmas? I would love to see a Suns Warriors Western Conference Final.
That'd be nice.
Woo, that sound like it just be goodness gracious. That looks like it would be something to watch. So
can we pray the Nets play defense at least one game?
I'm hoping for that to end in a slow death.
Just a little defense, just a little bit.
The question is, was Jalen Brunson auditioning for a starring role on another team?
It appears so, because I just, unless Mark can pay him. Mark can pay him, and I think if he comes back, they got a solid situation. But
if he could put up 30 points a night, I mean, he put up 41 last night. He put up 25, 30 points.
Yeah, he could have a solid situation. But now, having said all that, do you want to be the prince or do you want to be the king?
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
But the Warriors have managed with princes and kings.
They have.
So have the Lakers.
I think you have, but those teams that you're mentioning have cultures, and the culture of that team is sacrifice. The culture of the Mavs is follow the superstar. Has been for quite some time. Really, in the entire existence of the Mavs, it's been follow the superstar. And so, can Jason
follow the superstar and you a Lakers fan? What are you talking about?
I didn't say we were different.
I mean, damn.
Hold on, don't take offense to the truth.
I took offense.
You should take offense. I'm not saying that the Lakers are any different. We're actually worse than y'all, because now we don't just chase the superstar, but we chase the superstar in the ring, which is an even more ridiculous premise. Bet the farm every year for one championship run? That's dumb as hell. But that's where we are.
And bottom line, still in the green, so you ain't got nothing to worry about.
So we gotta stop talking about sports. Mama Noise is gonna keep leaving the screen. If we was talking football, she'd stay, but basketball, not so much. Did you watch the verses, Cuz? Did you watch it?
The gospel?
Yes.
Hell yeah, I watched it.
What did you think about that verses, sir?
You know, it was a good verses. To be honest with you, I've always been a BB and CC fan. I've never really been a Mary fan.
Okay.
in part because I kind of consider there's more street, more kind of rap, more kind of R&B-ish.
Yeah. They can
But
sing.
huh?
They can sing though.
That one girl really can sing. I don't know names.
Tina and Erica.
Well, whichever one it was.
Tina's the thicker one.
That one that was on there last night, but that girl was it last night or night before?
Sunday night.
Man, she fine as. Ooh.
You might be talking about Erica.
Is that the one that's married to that one guy?
Yeah, that's Erica.
You just had a moment.
Man, she is. Well, okay. I will shut up.
So if she showed up at the gym in a sports bra and green pants, you wouldn't kick her out, is what you're saying.
She thick. I was like, oh, I'm trying to concentrate on the music, but damn, she fine. Did I say too much? I'm sorry.
No, you said you spoke your truth.
I was actually surprised that he even watched it.
It's gospel. Why don't I watch gospel?
I'm just the fact that it was a verses, not the content, just a verses in general.
I don't mind verses. I just don't want to hear all that old boobity boobity boobity.
That was the oldest thing you've ever said on this show.
Boogity, 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 boogity.
I want to hear all that boogity boogity boogity. That was the oldest thing you've said on this show since
Lord, versus I still, because I'm a BB and CC fan, I still think they won. But CC didn't know half the words, so I mean it's kind of
CC was reading shit off her phone. I was like, CC, baby.
And she can't hit them notes anymore at all.
Well, some of them, both of them kind of opted out on some stuff, like from time to time. Because its verses is long. It's about 2 hours long, 3 hours long. So you can't sing every song. You got to choose the ones you want to really sing. And but CeCe had a moment though, where she had folk in tears, and I was like, oh, CeCe.
She's always been a good singer.
Yeah.
So,
but it was two different. Go ahead.
Because you said BB and CC won.
In my opinion, but I'm a fan, so I.
What about entertainment value? Did one entertain better than the other?
Yeah, the internet's saying Mary won.
I mean, well, when you showed the body of that one girl, that was very entertaining.
Did you didn't hear nothing they saying? You was just like, damn, she fine. You was distracted the whole time.
Bring up a picture, man. Bring up the picture right quick.
Of what they wore?
I don't know their names, honestly, I don't.
Are you talking about what they wore? You want to bring up the picture?
Yeah, what they wore there. Yeah.
I think I may have a picture of that. Let me see if I got it.
Mama Noise, don't look like that, Mama Noise. We're just trying to be visual. We want to see what we're talking about.
I have a picture. Let me see. Maybe I
don't want the audience to be missing out on what we're trying to explain to them.
Would they be missing out? That doesn't feel like they'd be missing out.
We can't have a conversation and not show them what we're talking about.
Where is the picture? We just showed it yesterday. What happened to it? Am I in the wrong folder? Man, production is fucking up. I think I'm in the wrong folder. Give me talk amongst yourselves while I get the right folder.
Take your time. We understand. You have reached that age. You're not reaching it.
You know what? We're not doing that tonight. Don't make me say something.
You already did.
You know what? Niggas always want a nigga.
People amaze me trying to hold on to youth.
I'm gonna hold on to it.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people want to hold on to it, but
you know why we do it, Jay?
Oh, you one of those people too?
Yeah, because there's people like you saying, "Well, shit, 52. I didn't live long enough."
Right? You be wanting to check out and shit.
Listen. I watched that video you sent me earlier. I don't know what youth you trying to hold on, because that was a very old song and old rendition of the song. So I don't know what you're talking about, youth.
Hold on, let me get that.
It was an old ass deacon up there singing that song. Did I say something wrong, Albie?
I really only need to show one picture because I get what it is.
Folks is giving each other the finger. What is happening?
Nah, I was not. I went to scratch my ear.
No, you scratched it with that one particular finger.
He was
I'm
giving me
old and I couldn't move fast enough.
What I'm fail. He giving
Why
me
is
some.
it so hard to find?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, now just I'm not. I refuse to be defeated. At this point, I'm not going to take a
Mama
hit.
Noah says
Now he's committed.
Yeah.
it's because the Lord doesn't want you to show. That's what Mama Noah said.
Well, because you are looking at ass, and this is wildly inappropriate.
I'm honoring the body of a woman.
Is that what you're doing?
I think it's a beautiful thing.
Well, listen, honor away, my brother.
I don't understand any man that doesn't love the body of a woman.
Come on, Chuck. Okay, here we go. Now we cooking.
Now we cooking with lard.
Now we cooking with lard.
Yeah, by the way, I like the song a lot. Seriously, that's what I was raised on. So
This is what they had on.
It's because you
at the verses.
So I'm assuming he's talking about the one without the hat.
Right. You have to turn it around a little bit different.
Why is CC looking over there at them like you ain't got to do all that?
She did. Well,
put your face on CC.
CC looked like the grandmama on stage the whole night. Like it looked like two grandparents taking on two granddaughters the whole night.
I agree with that.
And look, BB looking over top of his glass like, girl, I can make it do what it do still.
They're about the same age, right? That girl there is.
Who's about the same age?
That's Erica, the waist trainer.
You think they're that much older than Mary?
I think Cece could be Erica and what's her name was Mama.
Yeah, they're not the same. They don't think they close in age now.
I don't think so now.
I'm guessing late 30s and early 60s.
Maybe 10 years older. Maybe 10.
No, let's verify then. Let's verify. Shit,
who you looking up?
Oh, you think CC is?
62,
65 at least.
Damn, she look good for 65.
I would think she's 65.
Oh, to be kept. Hey.
Oh, I want to see you. Okay, so Erica's 49. Tina is, it's not Tina? Her real name is Tracina Yvette Tina Campbell. I did not know it was Tracina.
How much? How old is Erica?
Erica's 49. Tracina, or Tina as they call her, is 47.
No, she can't be their mama.
I didn't think so.
So how old is CC?
57.
Thank you.
Really? It's just 10 years?
10 years. You niggas had the woman on the daggum walker.
But
well, listen,
by your standards, sir, she should have went on and checked in and quit putting her family through it.
You did say
nobody want to stick around that long.
I've always said 80 is enough. I've never said 57, 65 is enough.
Bro, you said out your mouth, you was like, your grandmama's still alive? It's like, well, cuz
I said that because that's a blessing. That's a blessing.
But you said, man, Lloyd, we need those receipts for tomorrow.
I keep all the receipts. I record this program daily.
No. Listen now. If you in your 50s and you still got a grandparent alive, that's a blessing, guys. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. That part, but I know I've heard you say on many occasions, I go now. I done lived there. Nobody wants to stick around all that time. Were you pissing on yourself and can't wipe your ass? I want to go way before then.
Yep.
That does sound like you.
Actually. I will co-sign. I remember hearing that.
Like a quote,
I always said 80 is my number, and I do not want to be sitting around pissing and shitting on myself. That's true statement. Okay. Because I've seen people have to wipe up people, and sometimes they don't wipe you up good, and you got to sit there in that shit. And I have hemorrhoids, and I don't want my hemorrhoids.
So let me ask you a question.
Got to be clean.
Know that.
Let me ask you a question.
They want to wipe you up when you're just gonna turn around and shit on yourself again.
Well, let me ask you a question.
It's like washing car in the rain.
Let me ask you a question. If you can find a quality shit wiper, will you stick around past 80? That's the real question.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it sounds like. Your real problem just sounds like you don't know if you'll be able to find a quality shit
He
wiper.
just wants Charlene to come in there and clean him up.
That's where I think we're headed. How old
Charlene come in there doing it thoroughly, then it'll be,
Just get his old ass a bidet and let him stick around 10 more years.
That's all you really need. This is a real simple problem to solve. I think you underestimate the level of the problem.
Seriously. The noise makers that can relate know what I'm talking about. When you have hemorrhoids, ain't nothing worse than a dirty ass. Ain't nothing worse than a dirty ass. You got to have a clean ass.
We not disagreeing with that part. What we're saying is this is a simple problem to solve.
I refuse to be tormented in my 70s with a dirty ass. I can't wipe it myself.
Attention. Late night noise has never stuck around to this hour.
So why we
uncharted territory.
I'm speaking truth. Yes.
You let us all know about your hemorrhoids.
Now, you might not you go past 9 o'clock. Once you get past 9 o'clock.
It's like gremlins, right?
Did it rain in Texas?
Talk about your golden years.
It's supposed to be trying to rain now.
Golden years, and you sitting around there with that gum and itchy ass because you ain't clean your ass up.
Wait a minute, I got news for you. You ain't got to be that age to have that problem.
You just
my mama said all these girls going around getting these long nails and stuff. She said, "How are you cleaning your behind with these nails that are so long and stuff?" I don't understand.
That is a good point.
They can't even pick a quarter up off the table.
Right. I would imagine you can't have both. You can't have long nails and a clean ass. You can't. Something's got to give.
According to Tara. According to
I think that's true.
I didn't say you can't, Tara. Stop putting words in my mouth. No, it's makers. I didn't say you can't, but you know.
What do you want in your mouth?
Nope.
Damn. I gave you the same look Cuz gave you.
See, that's what happened.
He don't put words in his mouth. I'm just trying to understand.
Nope.
What exactly does he want there?
The fact that he took it long to respond, I'm shocked.
Right.
Hopefully some oxtails, some peas and rice, or peas and whatever it is, rice and peas.
Right now, this is where we are. So listen, something is gonna happen tomorrow during the day. Either we're gonna be live or you're gonna see a repeat of this show. Either way, it's gonna be good. So y'all just prepare yourselves for either one. And until then, we love each and every one of you. Y'all pray for Cuz's ass. Just pray for it as you lay down tonight. Just lift the ass up.
Nope.
And pray for it.
Yeah, look him up in Cash App. He can use Preparation H. Send him $1 or two. We're gonna call it. We're gonna set up a GoFundMe, Preparation H Fund.
Operation Ass Wipe.
No, come on.
He gonna have a garage full of Preparation H. Man, we want you here till 99, man.
I want you here. I just want you around.
Hell no.
Whatever I gotta do to help facilitate somebody wiping your ass, not me per se, but somebody volunteered to wipe your ass.
I'm alive at 99. Me and the Lord gonna have a talk when I get to heaven.
Why? As long as your ass is being clean, what do you care?
What was you waiting on?
I feel confident in knowing that the response from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is gonna be, boy, if you don't go sit your ass over by a fountain, leave me alone. Stay out of grown folks' business.
It's all the time in this damn show. We've gone too far.
We've gone too far. And so now that we've crossed the line, we look back and wave at y'all and say, we'll see you tomorrow.